No content and low content KDP hardcover books are a relatively new offering on the Amazon platform and as such present a great business opportunity. So in this video, I'm going to give you my top niches, top picks of types of books that I think would do well in the hardcover format. And that's not just now in the run up to the Christmas holiday period, but that's also through into 2022. So if you're looking to get into the publishing business, looking to make money online using your computer or laptop from home or anywhere in the world for that matter, or you've already got some softcover books published and you want to convert them to hardcover format to make some extra money, then follow along as I give you my top picks. Now, if you've not been to this channel before, then welcome. My name's Paul Miles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it. And that's your money I'm talking about. If you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. So why would you want to produce hardcover books in the first place? Well, the main reason is of the perceived value by the customer. These books tend to have a more premium feel, more professional feel, and they also last longer. So when I was looking or thinking about the types of books that I thought would sell particularly well, I bore those factors in mind, but also thought about books that people would want to keep on a more permanent basis, and also books that people would tend to give as gifts, because I know if I buy books for people, whether it's for birthdays or Christmas, I tend to buy the hardcover version because of that higher perceived value. Okay, so let's get into the list, my top picks of niches or types of books. First of all, it's more of a broad group of books, and that is the blank lined notebook. Now, why would this be particularly good in the hardcover version? Well, it's because they are often given as gifts. Now, the advantage of blank lined notebooks is that they are easy to create, and if you've already got some created and published, they're also easier to convert into the hardcover format. And in fact, I've done a video on that, which I'll leave a link to below and here in the top right hand corner. Now, I know there are those softcover versions of notebooks like this one I've got here, which just get scribbled in, filled in with lists, shopping lists, that type of thing, and then get thrown away. But there's also those, like one I've got here, in the hardcover format that can be kept for years and years and maybe filled in as a type of diary, ideas, lists of things that people want to keep permanent records of. So I think that provides a very good opportunity. And also, I've got quite a few, I don't know how many, 500 blank line notebooks, many of which tend not to sell particularly well during the year, but when it comes up to the Christmas holiday period, the sales of those really start to ramp up. And I've got quite a few with funny quotes on the cover. So I think because of the gift-giving nature of blank line notebooks, I think they would do well as a hardcover version. So if you have got those in the softcover version, start looking at converting those to the hardcover format because it's easy, it's free of charge, and really there's nothing to lose. Okay, the next type of book is the planner. And the reason why these would do well as a hardcover version is because people will tend to keep these for a year, 15 months or so, but they put them in jacket pockets, they put them in bags, can get a bit of a beating. So a hardcover version will give it that longevity, will last longer. And you can see here in the listings, the hardcover versions of these types of books are quite popular, got extremely low bestsellers ranks, so sell well. And again, now in the run up to Christmas, early 2022 is a good time to get these published because that's when they tend to sell the best, as does the next book, which is the diary. Now, this can be a year diary, it can be an academic diary for about 15 or 16 months, or it could be a 5-year diary. Again, people like the hardcover version because they want to last for a long period of time, and they can sometimes get a bit of a beating. With a softcover book, you might find, after a few months that it starts to look tatty and starts to fall apart. And again, as you expect, very low bestsellers ranks, as we can see here with these types of books. And in fact, most of them listed here on the first page are hardcover books. Now, yes, 20,000 results for diary, for the search results. So high competition. So if you were to go into niches like these, you would need to look at sub-niches, different themes of types of diaries that people might like to buy. And also a good one is different professions. So An example off the top of my head would be Diary for Teachers. Again, competition for that might be quite high, but you could think of lots of different professions that could pertain to these types of books. Next, we come to a particular group of niches that are very similar, and these are types of books that people will fill out over a 12-month period or so, but not only fill it out over a longer period of time, but will also keep them for a longer period of time. And first example I've got of this is the Affirmation Journal. This is where you might have a quote, saying, motivation, quote each day or each week that people will read and get benefit from. And again, good bestsellers ranks, very popular. Again, you might need to niche down, target particular markets for these types of books. Another niche related is the prompt journal. Now, these are interesting. It's a huge niche, which I might do a video on very soon, actually. I was quite surprised at the opportunities here. And again, people will fill these out on a daily basis, usually, or maybe a weekly basis. And they're prompts to do things like writing or drawing or sketching. And there's lots and lots and lots of sub-niches within this. We can see here, we've got a 52-week mental health journal, very good bestsellers rank. And so this may be filled out just on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. And if we look through the bestsellers ranks, these are very good and present a good opportunity. Again, a similar book, similar vein is the Gratitude Journal. Again, a particular type of book, sells well, lots of low bestsellers ranks, and these would be books that people would fill out and keep for a long period of time. Now we come on to a book that people would keep for a very long period of time, maybe years, and that is the Password Journal or Password Notebook. Again, a lot of competition, 3,000 search results, so you could niche down to target particular interest groups. But when people fill these out, they want to keep them for a long period of time, understandably. Now, I know you might think, well, who's filling out these? There's not a big market. People now save their passwords electronically on software like LastPass. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. There are lots and lots of people that want to keep permanent records of passwords in written format. And in fact, I do the same with certain types of passwords. And this is borne out by looking at these bestsellers ranks here, 8,215, 17,000, which are selling very well. And you can see there's a lot of offerings for the hardcover versions of books. So I think if you were to do a listing of the softcover, hardcover version, they'd sell particularly well. Now, the next type of book is a niche that I do particularly well in. I've mentioned this before in previous videos, and this is the business related logbooks. And the reason these do well is because, again, people need to keep these for a long period of time and quite often for legal reasons. Now, I'm thinking about things like accounting ledgers, again, great low bestsellers ranks, the ledger book and bookkeeping record books. There's other types of books in this niche, but if you're looking at these types of books, the reason people often need to keep these for a longer period of times for legal reasons is for things like tax reasons. Now, I know in the UK you need to keep around about 5 years worth of records. I think in the US that may even be 7 years. So businesses will often buy these in the hardcover format just because they last longer and sit better on a shelf in an office. Now, I'm in the process currently of converting all my business related logbooks into the hardcover version because it's free and there's the opportunity for more sales. Now, one of the objections to hardcover books is that they cost more to produce, so you'd have to sell them at a higher price. But when it comes to the gift giving books, that's less of an issue. People are willing to pay that extra price. And when it comes to the business types of books, well, these are classed as a business expense, so again is not so much of a huge factor. So I've given you these niches here. Now, I'm sure you guys have thought of some other books, some other niches, other types of books that would do well in the hardcover format. If you have got some thoughts on that, then please do let me know in the comments below, because I'm always looking for good ideas myself, and I think it's good to have that two-way conversation. And I try to answer all comments on this channel. So please do go ahead and let me know. Now, if you've not created a hardcover book before and are wondering how you create one of these in the first place, well, I've done a video on that here, where I take you through the creation and the upload process of one of these types of books. Thank you very much for your time. It is very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And until next time, goodbye.